Vice Principal of PA College of Pharmacy to escort the guest to dais. Innovation is something which is there in all of our mind. So to express it, we require some expert talk like our guest, Dr. Krishna Prasad sir. So we'll start the program with the blessing of Almighty. So I request Rafi, third year B Farm, to do the prayer.
Good morning. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والتين والزيتون وطور سينين وهذا البلد الأمين لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم ثم رددناه أسفل سافلين إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات فلهم أجر غير ممنون فما يكذبك بعد بالدين أليس الله بأحكم الحاكمين. صدق الله العلي العظيم. I seek refuge of Allah from Shaitan, the rejected one. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. By oath of the fig and of the olive, and by oath of Mount Sinai, and by oath of the secure land, we have indeed created man in the best shape. We then turn him towards all the lowest of the low states. Except those who accepted faith and did good deeds, for them is a never-ending reward. So after this, what causes you to deny the judgment? Is not Allah the greatest judge upon all judges? Thank you.
Thank you, Rafi. Now I request Mufiza Banu to do the welcome speech.
Good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to all present here. On behalf of PA College of Pharmacy and Institution Innovation Council, I, Mufiza Banu, extend a very sincere welcome to all of you. I feel privileged to extend a cheerful welcome to our chief guest, Dr. Krishna Prasad, Professor and HOD of PAT. I welcome you, sir. I kindly request Dr. Mubin, Vice Principal of Pharmacy and HOD of Department of Chemistry, to hand over the sapling as a token of love. Thank you, sir. I welcome Dr. Mubin, Vice Principal of PACP, to this event. I welcome you, sir. I welcome Dr. Rajisha, Associate Professor, Department of Pharmacognosy. I welcome you, ma'am. Last but not least, I welcome all the lecturers and my students of PACP to this event. I welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mufiza. Now I will give a brief introduction about our speaker. Dr. Krishna Prasad N. Sir, MSc KMC Manipal, PhD from CIFC ICAR 1995, 10 years of industrial experience and 18 years of academic teaching experience. Currently is working as a professor and HOD in the Department of Biotechnology. So I request sir to continue with the session.
Respected dignitaries, colleagues, dear friends, good morning to you all. So, all of you are in which year of your graduation? Third years and fourth years of B Form. So today we'll have a very interesting session. I'll not talk much on the theoretical aspects what you get in textbook. We will go through some of the, I'll just cite some of the case studies happen. Citing some case studies of PA College of Engineering, we'll go through how an ideation can be done. Today we'll have a very interesting sequence of events starting from pre-ideation, ideation, pre-incubation, incubation, acceleration, and commercialization. This is various stages of how you can start a company, how you ideate your own ideas and translate your innovative idea to product or service. So normally pre-ideation is what you actually have, and ideation is a ongoing process. It will not stop, even though it's not end of the first stage. Even though it's a first stage, it will not stop at the end of the first stage. It keeps on going. We need to upgrade your ideation. So then pre-incubation of your ideas, incubate it, accelerate it, and commercialize. So these two are ongoing process, never stops, and you have to upgrade it on daily basis. So we'll start with the pre-ideation. So what before you start for examination or anything, any event, any programs, you prepare for such event. Okay. So ideation is one such event which takes long time. As I said elsewhere, it is a lifelong process if you are into entrepreneurship. So I'll start with pre-ideation. So how you actually prepare for ideation. So what is an idea? Can someone tell me what is idea? What is idea? Already there. Okay. So in your own word, it's not theoretical. As I said, we'll translate that into our own days of experience. What is an idea? Ever you get idea on daily basis? See, suppose you lose your mobile phone, you start thinking, how to recover it, where I lost, where I left, where all I went. I went to his room, it's just a sequence of events, you start recollecting it. This is a sort of idea, idea to solve your own problems. Okay, same way idea is a new link, you have lost somewhere, you just, create a link so that you can, connect from known thing to unknown thing. No, unknown things, known things. So there is nothing, unknown in this world. Only thing is that we don't know. So if whatever the things under the sky in this universe, everything is known. The knowledge that we have is only fraction of what we have. Okay, So there are two types of knowledge. One is the traditional knowledge, which is passed on from generation to generation in the form of folk or religious books. We have, Bhagavad Gita, Quran, etc. And also in the form of, dancers, village, village folk, they have a dance in the form of dramas. So the generate, because we didn't have a script. So all the traditional knowledge is passed on from generation to generation. So which is time your nail, during evening time, you say that you doesn't know anything. So unscientific statement you give. As we entered into, scientific, into a college. We think that we are the one who have a rationale of all the statement made by our parents. So they have a knowledge, why they say sometimes they may add some stories where you don't believe. There is no scientific background. But why in olden days when you cut your hair or cut your nail during evening time, they used to have food on the floor, coated with cow dung, and they used to have plankton leaves to have food. So if it enters you in your stomach, we don't have an enzyme, or even acidity will not be able to degrade your sharp nails in your stomach. So ultimately, it might pierce, and there may be a tissue growth that may translate into cancer. So there is a background. So it is a time tested. So traditional knowledge you cannot rule out. So for that we have a Cartagena protocol, part in a Cartagena protocol. On the other hand, we have a scientific knowledge where we have a background, World Trade Organizations, we have a WTO, all those things are there. One is Western backed, other one is a European backed. So traditional knowledge is backed by European Cartagena protocol, and your scientific knowledge is in a very strong background from US backed laws. So scientific knowledge, maybe if you see refer books, even during your project work, you may get 80s or 90s references. It means that whatever the scientific research is done only of these 2 centuries. Okay, so scientific work that you do may be proven other way around. It may be proven negative also after some time. Okay, so you cannot rule out. So, but thing is that you need both the knowledge. For ideation, we need traditional knowledge and what is the other one? Traditional knowledge and scientific knowledge. So we get into a college, we think that our knowledge is the ultimate. So thing is that the knowledge that we have, only fraction of what is there in this world. Of that part is of traditional knowledge, which is time tested, and it's even calendar. Your calendar after many centuries of later also to this year's calendar fits perfectly. So they're not astrologers. They're all time tested. They tested over the time. If suppose tomorrow is full moon falls on that day only. Okay, half moon falls on that day only. So if it is days also same way. Rainy season, everything is actually time tested. So these two are very much important, basic thing you should should know before you start ideating. So you have traditional knowledge, and you have scientific knowledge. Okay, so your idea, because sometimes you think that it is new. Only thing is that you don't know, but everybody else is knowing. So you should know what are the you should review before you start ideating. You should know what other people know, because if you without that knowledge, you think that your idea is the novel one. So that's the most important thing. So idea is you just connect. It's like not like ideation is not like designing an aeroplane. So everything is even a metal alloy, all that knowledge. Okay, screw designs. So only thing is that your idea is to join two unknown things. It's very small idea which joins multiple known things. So we call that as an idea. So this is a basic thing before you start ideating. So as I said, I'll take up one case study how we did it. I think during 2018, Ashfaq, so the first batch of student who's an entrepreneur who took up Shami lab from Bangalore to Africa. He developed market in Africa. Then he went to US. He had his own company. Now he has his own company, Natura, office in Bangalore as well as US. Most of the time he's in USA. It's a natural product. All the product which is there in the public domain. It means that it's a traditional knowledge. So we wanted to start ideation. So we don't know anything. So we call him as a budding entrepreneur. We started, students started discussing with him. No, they wanted to start a company. Some student they wanted to start a company. Some student wanted to have entrepreneurship. But different idea. People came with the different ideas. So they wanted to be a particular branch. I think 2018. 18 they were in second. It's a 2017 batch. So these students, when they were in the second year, 2018, we called because most of the students wanted to start a company, wanted to be an entrepreneur. So job creator rather than job seeker. So for the first, they wanted to start, they asked, so how to start? How to start a company? Where to start? So all the question, and whenever you want to start, no, you have all the questions. Who, when, where, why, all those questions are there. Even when you start a project, you are in a project, you don't know where to start, how to start, whom to call, how to start. All those things are remains in a questions only. We wanted a mentor. So Ashfaq, we found Ashfaq is the main, perfect person because he know PA College of Engineering. He studied here. He know the vibe of each student. He came up with a very great difficulty. He was not an entrepreneur. His father was not an entrepreneur. So he has a company now, Atelier Designs. I think it's the largest showroom, sanitary where showrooms, toiletries, all showroom in Mangalore. I think near Rosario Church. Huge new design, Atelier Design. That is his baby. So now left to his brother, and he went to company which is a Natura. He wanted to start a company in biotech field only. So he told, why you want to take up entire world's. They came with different ideas. So why you want to solve entire universe problem when you have a lot of problem? Because when you take up a problem of USA, you have to go to USA. That place is not new to you. So best thing is to find out the problem of your local area. So local problem is the most important thing that gives, because you are familiar with that. If you want to solve the problem, it's very near to you. So whenever you select a topic either for your project or for your entrepreneurship, so try to understand the local problems and try to give solution to local problems to your idea. That was the idea given by the Ashfaq. So all those, we grouped into based on the interest. Okay, I'm not going to, as I said, I'm not going to talk about a theoretical thing. I'll just take up a case study what happened during 2018. Such many batches are there. I'm just citing only one of many 10 examples, 10 batches of 2018. So they have split up into 10 groups based on, not 10 groups, it was a 6 group based on their interest. They visited, Nadupadavu, Balepuni, etc. And I'll take a one case study where, a group of students, they went to Nadupadavu and interacted with the villagers. And they asked, try to know what is their problem. Okay, so ideation start from here. Pre-ideation, you have to prepare. As I said, pre-ideation, you have to prepare yourself to try to understand the problem. Then only you can give the solution to the problem. So they found out that they had two unique problems, Nadupada village. One problem was very difficult to dispose arachnid leaf and other, agro waste. Okay, even if they pile it up along with cow dung, it used to take 2 to 3 years to degrade those agro waste. Second thing was that because of profusely using pesticides and antifungal agents, they had a unique problem of some fungal infestation. So they were not able to solve this. So different problems. So these are the things. One thing is that that if you are able to isolate lignocellulosic fungus, you can degrade very easily if it is appropriate. If the inoculum is appropriate, you can degrade your agro waste to very efficiently within a year. That is known thing. Second thing is that it's also known that if you use if you see the Western Ghat area, so you have Trichoderma viridae, which is a antagonistic. So it is a farmer friendly fungus, and when it grows, no, it prevents all the pathogens from growing. So this is also known thing, as I told, no, known thing. So, but they have these two things. No, they wanted to find out solutions by linking small idea. So how you can link these known two things. By giving links, you have a new concept. Okay. So what they did, no, they collected samples. Okay. So samples from the village, and they have identified some most of the soil had pathogenic fungus. Before they just give the see, they have isolated the two fungus. Okay. So one is the this is a trichoderma viridis, which is present in the severe then the pepper. See, here the arachidid farm is actually used along with the pepper. So when the yield comes, whenever about to ripe, no, it used to fall because of the fungus. So they have tried two forms. One is a virgin form in the sense an organic form where only cow dungs are used. And these forms, Radupadav, they were using fertilizers, pesticides, etc. So their forms are only pathogenic fungus. Whereas the soil collected from the western Ghats, they had a trichoderma viridis. Then they have shown on vitro that when these two are grown side by side, the trichoderma viridis never allowed this fungus to grow. So it is to overshadow the other fungus. So the same concept. This is also known. Not that this is not true, but they have identified that these are the reasons. Still, they were not able to find out the solution. So what they did, though, because it partially solve the problem, but it is known thing, unknown thing. Okay. So they try to isolate some variety, okay, of trichoderma viridis from western Ghats. They had a ability to degrade agro waste by secreting lignocellulosic enzymes. Okay. So that was a breakthrough. So what they did, they have used this fungus to degrade the agro waste. They solved the first problem. Second thing, it also prevents antagonistic effects. It also prevented populated and prevented the fungus. So they have solved the problem. So farmers don't have to. So they have converted the agro waste into a fertilizer. This fertilizer also had antagonistic property because it had spores. When you dry it and use it, when it grows, it prevents all the pathogens from growing. So they have solved. This is a unique process. They have six problems. They have solved six problems. So how it happened, how it was possible. Okay, so this was possible. You have a myth. Again, myth is a question mark. As I said, those who believe in it's in the presentation mode. So myth, question mark. So scientists, they believe that it's a myth. Okay, people who believe in traditional knowledge, they think that whatever the things done in the laboratory is a myth. Okay, that depends. It's a subjective, not an objective. Okay, so we believe that we have a right side brain, we have a left side. Okay, so traditionally we believe from generation to generation they try to find out solution for all the problems. Okay, so the left side of brain, it's more of a knowledge, cognitive knowledge. Okay, so you are everything, every day-to-day analysis is done from the left. It's a myth. Okay, because I'll tell you why it is a myth. People say that it's myth. So right side brain, all ideas are generated for every problem. Every time you lose pencil, you lose your kerchief, you lose your bag. So your right side brain try to find out solutions. When you exhaust, but it happens when switchover is a big problem. We always think of we just try to refer. We refer. You are referring to. Okay. So we just refer. We don't allow the right brain to work. So switchover is the basic thing that helps in ideation. So how to switch over? So second thing is that okay. So we have two things. One is we brainstorming we do for our own problem. Also we brainstorming we do. We always think suppose you lose something, we tell your friends, you just get away from me, I have a lot of problems. What do? Why you get away from your friends? Because you have to think, you have to find out solutions. You are just referring to your knowledge that you have gained. It's a data. Okay, so data we have, accumulated from a baby. A baby, after eating mud, it realizes there's a difference between, mud and the chocolate. So later on, after a few years, it can recognize the chocolate from the mud, same color mud, by referring to the left brain. So right brain is of more of, idea. So mind mapping also important. Mind mapping, how you ideate, you structure your idea. Idea is there, you have to structureize it by through designing. So we call it as design thinking. Okay, so then you transform that into product or the service. So other thing is that you have you also have plan for examination. You prepare timetables. We call it as Gantt chart. So these two are what people think that these two ultimately doesn't help in solving your problem. Okay, so that's what the scientists believe. Okay, but without that we cannot ideate. For ideation, both right side. So sometimes problem, which side is required for ideation, right side or left side? So for ideation, both is required. Okay, right side and left side. Without knowledge, can you do that? So see, without, I tell you, without that knowledge, whether villagers are able to do, students are able to isolate because of the knowledge from the left side. Okay, so they are able to ideate. That's the next second stage. Okay, it was possible because of the knowledge they had. Villagers were not able to ideate because they didn't have the knowledge. So for ideation, both right and left side is required. Okay, so but idea will not never, these two will never create idea. So truth, we need both. Okay, so right side and left side. So why it is required? Because you have, it is like our idea is a very small fish in a big pond. Okay, so we think that it's like small frog in a big pond. We think that we alone are the big. Okay, so we also don't know that there are many such frogs elsewhere. There are many other ponds elsewhere. So that's our problem. So we think that our idea is great. So for what is required then? Your knowledge is very limited, right? So what is required? How you gain knowledge? Collaboration. Okay, so collaboration with your professors. Collaborate with alumni, collaborate with villagers. So collaboration is very much important. So we call that as a what? Brainstorming. Okay, so brainstorming. So you make, because now you cannot gain knowledge from everywhere. So gain knowledge which is related to your problem only. Okay, so you have to discuss with, brainstorm with the persons who had a great knowledge of that area, that problem. So don't collaborate with each and everyone in this world. Okay, so that's why your mini project, once you select a mini project, related teachers are selected. So guides are selected based on the domain that you have selected the problems. So same thing happened, next stage was ideation. Okay, the same batch we have called many industry experts. So Jitendra Kumar, he is the director of BBC, that is Bangalore Bioinnovation Club, Center, Government of Karnataka, and industrial persons. So students were able to try to find out solution for their problems. Because even sometimes the professor may not be able to give, because he teaches certain subjects. You are problem area may be from entirely very specific to other domains. So we had discussions and students were able to correlate. Okay, they are able to correlate knowledge, unknown things to known things. This is what I told. So next stage is to develop a hypothesis. Okay, what is hypothesis? What is hypothesis? Okay, so I've given an example. So you know that fish oil. Okay, so fish oil increases the immune response. Okay, so that is the thing. Fish oil also has, what are the things are there in, why you are fish oil is, you are a pharmacy student, why fish oil is very important? Why fish oil is very much important? You have tablets, right? No. Okay. So second, this is known thing. Okay. So fish oil, sardines, etc., has this oil. So that improves the immune strength. Okay. So these are the two things. So you have a fish oil which is rich in that. So that component also able to solve certain problems, health problems. These are the known things. What is unknown is, I'm just giving, you may have a many solutions to that, just it's only example. So unknown thing, just imagine that you don't have any literature to say that it has a same response on small babies. Okay, so here now two things are there, two variables. Okay, so two variables can affect your findings, your solutions. One thing is the fish oil take, how much can we feed that in directly to baby? If it is there, what extent? Whether it's crude form. All these are variables. So variations in the impact. Okay. Second thing is the immunity in children. Okay. So what type of immunity? Okay. All those things are the invariable. Once if you find out the solution to these variables, you should have a problems. If not that, if it is there. So what are the things? How you can carry on the research? All those things. So variables has to be taken. So doing research on these variables lead to the findings. Understood, no? This is the hypothesis. A is equal to B is known. C is equal to D is known. But you don't know B is equal to C. Once you develop a hypothesis with the variables, how to correlate B to C, then you know that A is equal to D. Okay, so this is how you develop a hypothesis. That is also required in ideation. Not that you are simply ideate, but you should have a various scientific background. So ideation, idea, you always we all scientific background, we think that it's only the scientific solution. So to start up a company, what we need is the entrepreneurship. Okay, so it is ideation is a solution, both in terms of why. So you want to listen, or you want to talk to that lady? Last but last. Okay. Let it, but just. So it is when you want to have start up a company, it's a startup. So your solution is both technological solution and business solution. You should have a technological solution, because tomorrow you have a Nobel pricing product. If no buyers, you are wasting time. You are going to throw your product. Okay, it is not like a research. There is a difference between research. You research, you do this, and you just manipulate and publish it. That's the end of it. Get the grant and publish it. End of it. Nobody will ask what happens next. But not. It's like you are baby. So you have to take your idea as a baby. So you know all the consequences of your mismatch, misideation. Okay, so ideation is not only it's a technological solution. 50% is technological solution. 50% is business solution. So you should have a technological model and business models. So you have to have what is the market strength. What is the market strength? For example, you want to start a product. What is the annual requirement? For example, you want to sell the syrup. Okay, so syrup made from some extract, wild extracts. So you see what is the requirement, whether it's all along the season or the seasonal. If it is that, what is the requirement? So whether it's what will do if you start a company during the other thing. So all those things. What is the market weakness? Suppose you start, whether it is rejected, any ethical implications. All those things are there. Legal implication, ethical implications, moral, cultural, language. All those things are important. So market weakness. And all those combinations of this you have to take. If you are able to manage all those four things, I'll not go much through this, theoretical things. I'm just going through this. You have to have a combination of this and this, this and this, this and this. So then your idea becomes very strong. So when you have a hypothesis driven ideas, okay, so most of your student projects, okay, so first is to find out the solution, okay, so identify the demand for the solution. You may have a Nobel winning solution, but whether people likes it or not also very much important, okay. For example, I want to transfer the human gene, okay, so human gene into it's insulin is common, okay. So if suppose I want to have a brinjal, so the fat content is very less. You transfer human genome into the brinjal and make it a fruit with the fat also, okay. Maybe your known fats, okay. So people here ethical comes so, ethical questions, okay. So whether you think people, if you try to convince the people that I've transferred gene genetic sequence from a human being into a brinjal to produce a new variety of brinjal, they'll say I don't want, I'm a non-vegetarian. But you have to convince that it's only the copies of, it's like a program, it's a copies of gene, it's like take 100 rupees, just common man, 100 rupees I have xeroxed it, and xerox copy million times I have taken, that the millionth copy is what we have transferred. It's only, it's not 100 rupee, it's only the xerox copy. So this is the way you have to, I'm just telling, this is how you convince, you may have educated solutions, but very difficult to convince the customer. If customer reject it, your company, your money, then you have to search for the job. So all those things are very much important. So identify the demand for the solutions, finding right solution to the problem. Okay, so you may have you have to see whether that was the right answer. Villagers might be looking for something else. So your answer for the solution may be different. So that is very much important. So collaboration is very much important. Then it's continuous delivery and adding value also very much important. See, the mobile phone itself, every time you see the mobile, you have more than the requirement of your app, right? Now why? Because every time, even KMF milk also, you didn't ask for different flavors. Okay, so they kept on adding the flavors by seeing the, it's not based on the, it's not a demand driven. They wanted to add more values. So they want to see that customers are much more satisfied than what actually they have, actually during surveys we have came to know. So all those things are very much important. Okay, so these are the solutions, you are not trying to find out exact solution, but we need to have a solution which is much more than their requirement. That is the most important thing in your idea. Normally what happens, how to switch over from the left side brain to right side brain. So what we need to do is to have a notebook. Okay, so during ideation, during your project, every time you go and ask, what should be the idea, sir, give me the research topic, all those things are there. So first thing is to have a notebook. So whenever you start in analyzing, when you're using left side brain, so sometimes you get it, but after some time you forget that idea, very good idea. So you note down those broad areas of your projects. Okay, so after that you start thinking. You have to think until you get exhausted. So you think, sometimes you morning to evening, brainstorming, you think, you discuss with, brainstorm until you get exhausted, then you get into sleep, or you go to a toilet, or go to a seashore. You have seen, no? Eureka from toilet, Eureka from the seashore, Eureka, because you got exhausted and you are into a different stage. You either sometimes sleep midnight, they say Eureka, 12 o'clock. So always, good ideas comes in that situation, because that is when you are exhausted. I'm talking about, some say it's a myth, but people say, why people say that it's a myth, because in the laboratory they were not able to find out, MRI, through MRI they were not able to find out which is dominating, whether right or left. That was the only reason. There may be, they may not, other thing is that, myth, people, they believe in tradition, all they think that, scientists, they don't have adequate knowledge, equipments, knowledge to say that, there is a controversy on that also. So let us take all those domains and go together, then only you will be able to find out solutions. So when you get exhausted, you switch over from left brain to right brain, so you get that beautiful idea to a solution. So this is how it is done. Okay, this is a figure given. The students, they just doing sometimes in the cafe. Why people spend a lot of time in cafe? Why, software people, they spend more time in cafe? You know why? Why? Because for that, they think that they, anticipate that some good idea comes up, pop up from their brain. Okay, so as I said, collaboration, what they did, no? So they went to the village again back. See, first they went to village and try to find out solution to the, find out problem to the problem which is existing. They have brainstormed, ideated, maybe, some of the ideas, students were telling, no, I got that idea in that place, I went with my mom. All those stories they were telling. They were sharing the experience during the this thing, workshops. So they again went back. Why we have to went back? Why they went back to the village? Because their solution is able to really solve the problems of the villages. So they had a brainstorming sessions with the villagers. Okay. So ultimately they were able to correlate that their problem or their solution is a right solution to the villagers problem. Okay, so the the solution they got through the ideation is a right solution to the villagers. So these are the they went to village, nearby village, they collaborated with them, villagers, they gave good idea. Actually, they gave good idea. So why it's very much important? Because we have our idea is very weak. Like incubation. What's the meaning of incubation? See, incubation, when the baby comes out of the shell, it's very weak. Okay, same way, our idea is very weak. So when you collaborate, we think that our idea is very strong. So we have very number of loopholes in those ideas. When you collaborate, when you discuss with the persons of different domains, your idea becomes much more stronger. So that process is known as the incubation. So we have, there are two types of incubators. We have student incubation, financed by and supported by KTech, Government of Karnataka. Every year they give 40 lakhs rupees, 10 lakh for pre-incubation activities. All those activities were conducted through financial support from the Karnataka, and 30 lakhs for student. Each of the 10 project they selected, each project got 3 lakhs each, because finance is required, So you have to work. As I said, direct variables and indirect variables are there. You have to find out. So this has to be done only through laboratory work. So for that, money is required. So the Government of Karnataka gives every year 3 lakh for each project. So total up to 3 lakhs for 10 projects. Okay. So it is a then 10 projects, 10 lakhs for pre-incubation activities. Okay, so next is to see, it's very much important, no? They ask when you apply for government agencies for startup, See, I'll tell you, incubation, there are two types of incubation. One is student incubation. So it might end to a patent or a company formation. Okay, so still that company is not very strong. So you may be able to have a proof of concept. So some of the project, they went to one more stage. Next stage, it's a alleviate. Okay, alleviate, each project gets 40 lakhs, and we also have a BIRAC project from Government of India, which gives 1 crore for each. Okay, so there are two things. So student incubation center, we get only the student fund. If you want to carry on, we push your student idea into actual startup, we need a fund. So we have various funds, more than 40 lakhs funds are available, but that time they'll ask proof of concept. Okay, so proof of concept is very much important. When you say that, no, I am a cricketer, what proof you have? What proof you have? Suppose now you go for an interview and say that I am a cricketer, or I am a footballer, I am a athlete. So what proof you have? You have certificates. That's a proof of concept. So same way, when you have an idea, you should have done certain basic work in the laboratory, and you have some flowchart. Maybe in the form of a patent also. It may be in the form, not in the form of publications. Patent is the most important thing. So most of the all the 10 got patents. Okay, so same 2018 batch, they have applied for patent, got 3 lakh, three got then worked and applied for patent, and now we have 10 patents. Okay, so same batch. I've started a 2018 batch. 10 patents are there. So 2022 they got a patent. So that the proof of concept is the flow chart. Okay, and the basic work you have done. So next stage, whenever you have, your innovations are protected. Intellectual property is protected. Somebody else cannot copy it. So you protect it through. So soon after you have developed a proof of concept, patent it. Your idea can be patented for 1,800 rupees. You are in a project, you make compulsory. All the students supposed to project, supposed to apply for idea. I patent 1,800 rupees and patent your idea. So over the year you do the experiment and then you give and you'll get the number. So you can also make compulsory to all the students to apply. So number of patent application also increases. 1,800 rupees you can also share. Your 100, 200 rupees you share. Five students, divided by 1,800 divided by 5 students. You just apply. You in your biodata also, okay, you applied for patent, idea patent. Later on you can give the supplementary documents, proof of concept at the end of the year. Okay, so all those things are very much important. Okay, so why proof of concept is very much important? So when you have a proof of concept, you don't have to explain much more than that. You have a proof. When you say that you have a certificate, you don't have to run in front of them to show that I can run much more faster than you. You don't have to show that I can bat, I can spin, right? No. So you have a certificate which is authentic. So that is a proof of concept. It's asked by all the startup companies. Whenever you have a Karnataka startup, we also have a startup India. So we need startup, we need certificate form number 1, 2, 3, and your registration number, KBITS registration number. Then 3 forms. Then the proof of concept. These are the things they ask when you apply for startup. So as I said, less waste, more funding you get, better planning you'll have, because everything is written. You do write what you are going to do. Okay, do what you have written and maintain it. So this is what is required. So better planning and fewer roadblocks, because you don't have to prove that that is better, this is better. You have already proven that this pathway is the better. So you have you have flow chart. How you draw a flow chart? By multiple variables you take, and ultimately you have an optimum flow chart. Okay, so proof of concept is a optimum flow chart that you draw after doing experiment. Or else 10 degree, 15 degrees, different degrees you see, different temperatures you see, different speed you do. All those things are there. So ultimately you know that this is the way you have to plot a flow chart. Okay, so that is most important thing. So what we do in the incubation centers. Okay, so what I told you have to incubate because your idea is very weak. You can make your idea much more stronger through incubation. Okay, so incubation centers, we actually we think by collaboration. Okay, so we execute. When you do that, you have to do it. Okay, so doing is very much important. So your knowledge, skill, and attitudes are very much important. So second stage, you execute. Third stage, incubation center also helps in launching your product. So I've already shown you the figure. Launching the product. Okay, I'll tell you whenever we go across that. So this is the incubation center. You may be thinking that, what is this incubation? Only tables. Okay, so incubation center, it gives more information. You can refer, it's more for brainstorming. So it's a place where you have where you can transition from left brain to right brain takes place. Okay, so you also have attached laboratories that are filled with various instruments. So you have various departments attached to this incubation center. Okay, so incubation center is like that only. When there is a doubt, you can use this. That said, you have computers where you can log in and get the knowledge, and you can brainstorming sessions can be done. So or else you can simply sit, okay, where you can ideate. Okay. So as I said, no pre-incubation, no, see, a lot of knowledge is required, because no, all those why questions of students or anybody, even faculty also, we need to have a answer. So our professors may not be able to give answers, because we are from different domains. So we need to request various people from different domains. We have had a series of event, like from innovation to entrepreneurship. Then for them only boot camps, actual boot camps are conducted, where the students can pitch their idea. Pitching idea. Pitching means ideation means, pitch means what? To score in a cricket, what you have to do? You have to pitch. So when it ball pitches, and you are pitching. Your idea is pitched, so that somebody else can score or you score. Okay. So idea pitching is very much important. So boot camp is a place where you can pitch your ideas, so that somebody else can give answer to your various problems to make your. So these are the six. As I said, in biotech, we had 6 ideas who ventured into villages to find out solution. So 6 of them were able to, when they were in final year, they have applied for patent. Okay. So all these were possible because we had series of events. We have such events. They've just taken one event where they were able to. So after that, hackathon also is there. Hackathon is the place where you actually present your ideas, and we have selected. Over college, we have 100 people were applied, more than 100 people are applied. Then we have selected, committee selected 40, and during a hackathon we had 3 different people, one from Central University, Kasargod, other people. They have selected 15 projects, and we have uploaded 15 projects. Of the 15 projects, total 10 were able to get 3 lakh each. So of the 3 lakh, again, biotech, just given the biotech, total 10 projects, 10 projects were patented. These are the 6 patent numbers. Patent numbers are there, and these are the titles of the same projects. These are the project notes. I'll just go through it. Hydrophobic plastic. They went to Balepuni, Balepuni municipality. They were able to solve the problems of dry waste. So they hydrophobic bioplastic, and same people, bio napkin, where napkins are produced, where absorption properties of the this thing arachidonate leaf was done not through chemical process, but we had a bio absorption properties, where lignocellulosic fungus, they have made actually holes into that, and porosity has increased through microbiological effect. So we didn't use any chemicals, or we didn't use any acids to increase absorption properties. So we had a bionapkin, that also patented. And we have isolated U-melanine. It's a melanine, but U-melanine is a globular melanine from cuttlefish, and they have produced umbrella and burqa with UV protective properties. Okay, so you can go umbrella which protects. You can also have aprons. You can get into X-ray centers which protects you from UV. And the smart cloth, that colocasia leaf. Colocasia leaf is the leaf where in a drop of water it floats. So that was extracted. Wax was extracted and coated on the shirt. It actually prevents the accumulation of dirt because of super hydrophobicity, and it also prevented the hydrophilic components, so bacteria could not able to grow. So all those things are there. We have a smart cloth and biocatalytic soap. We have soap nut. We have extracted saponin and impregnated with the catalase, lipase, and amylase into that with the biokinetic properties, because you have a pH variation. So we have a biocatalytic soap. And biofungicidal fertilizers, example I gave, where they ventured into Madhupazam, where with fungus, you have a biofungicide fertilizer which can give nutrients, also kill, prevents the other fungus to grow. So we had a series of workshop where see how to start a company from a bench side to bed top. It means that bench side is a patient where he lie. So how to find out a solution on a laboratory bench top? She is a Melanie Rodriguez from US. She came and gave lecture. So we have two incubation center. One is MSME, and other one is for 3 years, 1.2 and 2.4 crores. And some of the students, they have started the tissue culture and how they have ventured. Tissue cultures. See, you can see. Almost 3 fields were used. It's a small plant, a single plant, and we had a tissue culture, millions of plants, and these plants are planted, and ultimately we will become the first class student. Ashfaq only. So Ashfaq, we have one more company. So he has many Ayurvedic products. He launched both in US and India. So these are the few examples. And one more Delhi guy, Amis Ahmad. He has varieties of products started from. So at the incubation center, students come with the idea to sum up. So form a team, create detailed designs, then approach pays for all details, get to know more knowledge, get project funded, build prototypes, and fix issues of both the technical and business modules. Reach out to professors and alumni for help. You have alumni mentor interactions where they give market ready products, ideas for pushing your product into the market. And teacher also give ideas on patent, and convert your idea into product, product, and sell it, ultimately succeed in your okay. So be a job creator. You have to come out of zone, your comfort zone. So when you see, okay, for me salaried is okay, means growth is like that only. So you should be one among your 100 students. Okay, so there are, I've shown some of the only few examples which is related to you. I've shown there are many students, initially they had problems in finding solution. They started their own companies. Now they have market in US, South Africa, and India also. They have their own indigenous market. They have come up, so they don't have to listen. So that's a success story. Okay, so one out of 100 ideas, one idea becomes company, you will be giving job to hundreds and thousands of people. Government also, see, it funds. Why it gives funds? Maybe out of 1,000, one idea reaches out to reaches out as a a big company. Government is more than happy because it will give jobs to thousands of people. Okay, so all the money they have invested on hundreds of people on ideation will get out of this company. So that's the most important thing. So you have to come out of the zone. Then if you don't come out of your comfort zone, if you want to remain in comfort zone, you'll be in your comfort zone only. Okay, myself also. So what we need is a policy. So we have a policies. Okay, so you can refer this where IIC, you need to have a portal. You can also, you just click this. You'll get into the portal. If you have time, I'll just open. Okay, no problem, no? Because that is most important thing. So student, no, there is no knowledge. This is not there. Net is not there. Okay. See, having IAC in your institute, okay, it's a council. Okay, it's not the council of teachers alone. So it's a council of teachers, students, mentors, all the stakeholders. Okay, so when you have a council, so you need to have a policy. So policies are done and written, and it's uploaded in the portal. Okay. So need to go through, just log into this and copy this and keep, when you want to prepare a website, okay, you need to have all those activities, incubation, pre-incubation, ideation, pre-incubation, incubation, and how it is actually accelerated, etc. All those events are important, and policy is most important thing. Say policy for both, because IPR is related to intellectual property rights. As long as each and every one of us are failed, nobody bothers. One, if out of 100, one clicks and start making money, everybody will start looking at you. So then comes, it's my idea. See, when you patent it, everybody will come. So it was my idea. He copied it. So I gave. So contribution should be, suppose you work in a laboratory, you do an experiment. It's not intellectual property doesn't come. So when you have a share of idea, then only IPR, intellectual property right comes. So this idea has to be protected. When you become a successful entrepreneur, when you have people will come, give me a share. So initially college may not, think about in that directions. But once the company starts, so college also feels that we should have a fair share of benefits. Fair share of benefits, a terminology. So fair share of benefit means when you translate your idea into money, some money comes. So of the money profit, when translate the IPR into money, some share of fair share of benefit means money comes, translate IPR into idea into money. So money has to be shared. So it has to be very clear. Maybe minimum 15%, because you have a place where you have worked. You have a people who have supported you. You have various professors who have actually given ideas, intellectual input. So college also should get the benefit. But legal things are very much important, because if you infringement of your then that somebody can drag you to the court. So you should have a policy. So policy, when rules and regulations are approved by competent authority, it becomes a policy. So policy has to be there both for faculty and both for the students. So faculty can also do the research. So drafting policy is very much important as a part of IAC. That's the first thing we should do. So we have a policy which is drafted long back, and it is available in the website. And with this, we conclude that be a job seeker, be a job. Don't be a job seeker, but a job creator. Okay. So that's the most important things. Which one you want to be? You want to start a company, or you want to get a work? See, every day, every morning you get up and say, I want to be a job creator, job seeker. So definitely one day you will become a job creator. Okay, so with this I'll end my presentation.
Thank you, sir. More than just expert talk, it was very systematic, motivational speak about validation and startup development. So if anybody is having any questions, you can ask. Okay. I'll, Kritika Sivid, I request to do vote of thanks. Any questions?
Sir, my question is, other than biotechnology people, any other can utilize the incubation center of PACE?
First thing is that, see, I'm not telling a positive thing. You can also have, incubation center. There are two types of incubation center. One is student incubation center. Other one is, business incubation center. So business incubation center will take more than 20 lakhs. Okay. So anybody can, because anybody can come and work in our. That incubation center is not only for biotech. There are projects. I just given the example of biotechnology. There are projects from computer science.
Any other questions?
If college is able to give more than 2,000 square feet, then we can go
Okay. Call upon Dr. Salimullah Khan, sir, Principal of PA College of Pharmacy, to give memento to our guest.
Good morning. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Krishna Prasad sir for having accepting this very short invitation in very short time and deliberating on validation and startup development for the students of pharmacy. The pharmaceutical field is a very fertile field for any kind of innovation and entrepreneurship. There are several ways, there are several avenues, there are several opportunities in pharmaceutical field. All you need to know is open your eyes, look around you, look for the opportunities, read about pharma companies, read about pharmaceutical distribution, read about pharmacies, and use that to your benefit. And this is the right time that we are bringing this to you so that you can become more conscious about the opportunities in the pharma field, so that I'm not saying all 100% student should become entrepreneur. It's not possible. Whoever is having vision and right sources and resources, they can definitely become entrepreneurs. Of course, you need some experience, you need guidance. Our KP sir is an excellent guide in this. It is on his own effort that he has brought incubation center. Incubation center is really a pride for an institution where you can incubate your business ideas. If you have a business idea, only idea, not even proof of concept. Even if you have idea, you can go to sir and discuss the idea and work for the proof of concept. Once you get the proof of concept, you can easily incubate. If it is really worthwhile, he will be happy to come forward and incubate that idea, that proof of concept in the incubation center. Once it is incubated, it is open for the business. Okay. It is actually kind of model development. In incubation center is a center where you will develop a model for your business. So that is very, very important. To conclude this talk, the Apple founder Steve Jobs once told that innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. So what you want to be, a leader or a follower? Okay, if you want to be a leader, you should be innovative. And innovation is not always a new product. Innovation can also be a slight improvisation in the existing methods which can save time and money. In industry, time is money. If you have a process which takes around 1 hour, if you reduce even 5 minutes of its process, that will be an innovation. Industry will be happy to take that innovation. So there are many opportunities. Many opportunities, many areas where you can surely help, surely work. Okay, and it is not that only you are listening here and after go out, just forget everything. Keep this in your mind, somewhere in your corner of your mind, that these are opportunities in the pharma field. So how we can work on it, how we can explore that. So with that type of ideas, generally people will get succeed. And there is another myth that only if you have lot of money, then only you will succeed. That's a real myth. Okay, there are many people who, without having anything, they have succeeded in their lives. Okay, with very, very small investments. If you have a good innovation, you don't need. Actually, today there are millions of people who are ready to invest, investors. Lots of money is there outside. Only you need a pakka business plan. If you have pakka business plan, you can attract many people for investment. Okay, there are hundreds of people who are looking out for a proper investment. Okay, all they need is they should get their money back. Okay, if they can get their money back, they are ready to invest. All right. With this, I would like to conclude. Once again, I thank KP sir for taking his time and helping our students. Thank you so much.
Now I request Principal Sir to hand over the memento as a token of respect. Okay, it was very beautiful session, and we are very happy that we conducted this program through institutional innovation cell from PA College of Pharmacy. So let us conclude our program by vote of thanks by Kritika CV.
Good morning, everyone. I feel very privileged to admit and to thankful all of you. Uh, Saying thank you is our appreciation towards a person. I would like to thank today's chief guest, Dr. Krishna Prasad, HOD and Professor of PAET. Thank you, sir, for teaching us new things. Next, I would like to thank our beloved principal, Dr. Salimullah Khan, for supporting with us. Next, I would like to thank Dr. Mubin sir for your guidelines. Thank you all the lecturers and the students. Thank you one and all.